Today is Friday, which means it is our weekly group coaching day. I do want to show you how to get access. Hopefully you can see me and all is well. I'm still looking. I don't see it on YouTube, but oh, I think I see it. Oh yeah. All right, that was my voice, so we are good to go as long as we stay live. All right, so today is our, like I said, it's our weekly group coaching day, and I want to make sure that you know how to join. Let me share my screen here. Let me pull up the screen and sorry, guys. Like Keith in here. All right. All right, so if you are a reseller in our program, you want to go to the dashboard, go to the community tab. You can go to the events calendar and you want to click on today's date. You will be able to join us in the Zoom meeting today. If you're in our free community, you don't have the ability to join. However, you can click that link and go right to the meeting. So you can actually watch live. You can also watch live on YouTube. If you're not a member and you are interested in signing up, you can go to myvisionagency.com. If you are interested in signing up for high level, you can do that here and you'll actually get a free membership in my program. If you're already a current high level member, you can sign up here directly. If you're interested in accessing all the software that I resell, and you are not interested in being a reseller, you just want to use that for your own business, you can check out the software bundle there and you can join our free community or book a private call with me. Now, I do want to stop sharing for just a second, make sure that I have let everyone in here. And I wanted to give you an update on a couple months ago, we talked about running ads on YouTube using the YouTube promote option. And so I ran lots of ads using this and I wanted to test this. And that's why I told you guys I'm testing it so we can see the results. And I am actually not happy with the results at all because even though we talked about like getting subscribers for less than $1 and all of that, and it's not like you're some gimmicky thing, you're just using the YouTube promote options. Let me share this so you actually know in case you guys missed that training. I want to show you why I'm not happy with it. All right. So you'll see here that my subscribers went up. That's great. But you'll actually see my revenue went down. And you guys can also see, don't think you're going to get rich on YouTube. Just the monetization. Okay, so that's like nothing. And then you can see my views are about the same. So what happens is you can also see here down here in this video that the analytics are terrible. So like only 3% of the people watching this video are actually moving, like watching the rest of it. It's like, and the average duration is 3 minutes and 42 seconds. So what does that tell us? That tells us that even though it's showing the ads to people, it's likely showing the ads to the wrong people because they're not interested past 3 minutes. We want to put our ad in front of the right people. So what I wanted to show you today is how to use your white label AI ad system to create the YouTube ad. It's actually so much better and easier. So if you go to YouTube, you'll see here that it's pulling in your brand context and all of that can be stored up here. So it's pulling in your brand context. We always want to run in-stream ads. If you run in-stream ads, that's what's going to show up like, you know, before other videos that are relevant or even like in the timeline. And you can also choose the video that you want to promote here just directly from your YouTube video. You also can choose keywords here. So if I click here, you'll see that we can choose people already watching related content. This right here is what makes this system so much higher converting and better for your channel than just using the YouTube promotion, because while you can choose the country that you're promoting in, you can't choose the specific audience. So you have no control over what the interest is that people are subscribing to your channel. So You can choose the automated, so people watching related content, and then it'll help you choose the keywords. You can also choose between or before specific videos. So if you want, to have your video playing in front of everyone else who's promoting high level, you can do that. You can also choose the retargeting here and then choose from a list that you already have. All right. So you want to choose your audience, and then you'll see the rest of this is pretty much the same as YouTube promotions. You just choose your link there that you want to promote, and then you'll choose your budget. Now, this doesn't run ads for subscribers, but really the goal, more importantly than subscribers, is sales. So what we hope is that our video will play in front of all of the right people so that not only do they watch and not only do they click in the ad, but they're also interested enough to go ahead and subscribe. Okay, so this is my new way of running ads. Of course, I'll update you guys on all of the results from that. I will say though that when you place a YouTube ad, not just Google, but when you place a YouTube ad, let me let some people in here. It does take, they have to review it and make sure that you're compliant, but it does take sometimes like 24 to 48 hours before the ad is approved. So don't panic when that happens. Just know that that's the process, and it just takes a few, like I said, 24, 48 hours for it to show up in the dashboard. So how are you guys? What do you think about that? Do you have any feedback or questions?
Well,
Yes, Martina.
I do have feedback. I'm sorry, my mistake.
That's okay. I'll get you right after Martina.
I concur. And I'm excited about the fact that you do share this with us so that we don't go out and waste our time. I think it's really important for us to know the part about it allows us to choose who our audience is, because that makes much more sense than using the promote feature that it allows us to choose the location. It makes more sense to choose the audience first. So I'm glad you were able to share that with us before we even jumped into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always looking out for you guys. If I learn it, I'm sharing it. Learn, teach, earn. Uh, Manolo, you had something to say about that as well?
Yeah, I just wanted to. I've been using Play for quite a while now, and you can be Play the way it functions and the way it makes everything so easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Play is the bomb, and the pay per click is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I I took so many courses on Google and Facebook, and I just glad I have to forget about all that, because once you get Play, it is like a really young kid doing everything for you like he was a freaking genius. I mean, you need very little instruction. You just need, and he does a great job for you. I tell you, I don't know who's using anything else, but Play is the bomb.
I
And
totally agree. I wanted to, because I always look at myself as a guinea pig. So I wanted to test this promotions out because I checked out all kinds of videos and people were asking me about it. And there's no real way to test something than just to test it. Right. And I thought, wow, that's so great for people who are like not techie, or maybe they don't have Play yet or whatever, to be able to run those ads. But in reality, it's like not only is it technically a waste of money, but it also can really do damage to your channel. So it's like I have 22,000 subscribers. I don't want to damage my channel. And if they're not actually watching the video, then it like messes with the YouTube algorithm. And then it tells them like, hey, this isn't like really valuable content, so it doesn't really push it to anyone. So I am so glad to hear that you have a great experience with Play. Every ad that I run with Play, I absolutely love it. And I love more the fact that it not only helps you create the ad and the audience and all of that, but it also helps you optimize the ad. And that's always like, I know Manolo, I took so many courses on ads and all of that, but that's where I really struggled. Like I could get the technical part of like placing the ad and the copy and all of that, but what happens when you place the ad and then it's like, you have to, is this a good keyword? And then how do you remove and then add a new keyword? How do you do all of those things? Like, how do you test the headline of the ad, or, A/B split test, all of those things. And that's what I really love about Play, because it's like you said, it just takes like, it's like you have this ad genius at your fingertips that works all day, every day, and you don't even have to tell them what to do. They just know to do it. I love that. That's the kind of automation I can get behind.
And tells you every result. You once you set up the automatic optimizer, it's like a turbo engine. It just takes
Yeah.
up and start doing everything and making the change, and it tells you what it's doing. I mean, I tell you, I'm so glad for Play. It's worth every penny.
Yeah. Don't you think, Manolo, since I know that you use it, don't you think it's so much easier to sell when you've used it for your own business? And then you have that confidence to say not only just the technical confidence, but also the confidence to know that when you tell a business owner, I have the solution for you, it's actually a solution. It's
It's
not like,
actually a solution.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing: it's actually a solution. You do actually 5%. Play does everything else for you. I mean, it's incredible.
Mhm,
I try ever. The one thing that they have improved from day one. I mean, their videos, everything have improved tremendously.
mhm.
But now, if you put the wrong word on the wrong uh, something, place will tell you, hey, we can't run this,
Yeah.
and it will fix it for you. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's such an important point too, because sometimes you have like an ad or an industry that is really restrictive. And I love that Play just kind of takes all that guesswork out of it for you so that you don't have to think, oh, did I select the right category? And, am I allowed to do this? Because they'll tell you, you won't be able to place the ad. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they have improved Play tremendously from day one. They were great from day one, but now it's like way years ahead.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about when you choose white label software to partner with. You want to make sure that they are developing the tool. That's so important, and it's something that I've learned through trial and error is, choosing those good partners who are going to keep developing and going to keep adding resources for you. Like we as white label resellers, we want the white label videos. We want the knowledge base that's up to date for us. It's like if you want us to resell your tool, then give us those resources to do that. It's like if I want you guys to be successful in a high level, I want to give you all the resources that I could possibly think that you would need. And that's what we're all trying to do as business owners. We want to provide our customer with everything that they need to reach whatever goal we're promising them that they can reach. But I love, and I feel like Play is like high level, like they are just constantly developing and constantly improving things. So it's really exciting. We're in such a great spot in this industry right now. So cool. Tony?
Hey everybody. I wanted to ask, what do you think is a good entry level minimum budget for Play? Like if you're gonna start, sorry, my voice is going. Like if you were gonna start running ads.
Do, do you sound like you almost sound like a cartoon character with that voice. You should be like a podcaster with that voice. Um, what is a good budget? Honestly, it really just depends. Here's the thing. I would never run an ad for less than $10 a day, at least in the beginning, because you are, and honestly, never. I honestly, if you don't have $1,000 that you can like lose, and I say that like I know that nobody really wants to lose $1,000. But if you set that expectation for yourself and your clients, it's definitely an easier thing because here's what happens. You place the ad, and not only are you testing the ad copy and the ad performance and the audience and all of those things, but you're also testing the offer, right? And a lot of people will say, oh, well, yeah, I'm getting a great click through, but like no one's signing up. Well, that's not necessarily the ads problem, right? Sometimes it's the landing page. Sometimes it's a crappy builder that you're using and it doesn't load well. And sometimes the copy is just horrible and it doesn't convert. And it's like when you're testing every step of that process, that's all part of it. So it's like you can run the ad for your client, and if you're running just the ad and the copy, they're clicking in it, they're putting in their email address, maybe you even have a form there, whatever, and then nothing is happening on the back end. They're not getting any sales. That's not the ad's fault. That's the back end part. So all of those things, if you want to run ads for clients, all of those things need to be addressed. And that's a process, right? So when you're testing and doing all these things, it might not be that effective in the beginning, but the goal is to go through that process and actually make decisions based on analytics and then improving all of the way. And then you're going to be starting to get the best bang for your buck. So to put it simply, today, when I started my ads, I ran 2 ads and they're each $50 each. That's what I started out as. So that's okay for me. And I feel like I would rather start at like $50 each because I want to quickly get through that learning phase. Like
Okay.
my offer's good. I'm not worried about the back end part at all. So I'm confident to say, let's go ahead and test the ad part now because the back end, I'm solid on that.
How long would you suggest to do it? How long?
Play will actually give you guidance on all of that. So you'll see and let me see if I can pull up one that I already had before. Um, but it will actually tell you like how your ad is performing and at what phase. Let me go into here. Let me see if I can show this to you. And this is what I just love so much about Play, because you don't really have to wonder, is this a good ad? And it even tells you, like, here's one that I can show. Let me share my screen. So like, here's an example. So day one, it tells you like, okay, we're basically testing this. Check if your ads are approved, may take 24 to 48 hours. And then you have the first week and it's going to check that for you, right? So you place your ad and then you have all the benchmarks and then, or I'm sorry, you place the ad and then I was reading and talking at the same time. You place your ad, and when you place the ad, it creates those A/B split tests for you. So it's testing all of these different variations of your ad. And then at the end of the week, it tells you, are you meeting benchmarks? And it'll tell you what to do at that point. So you have like week 1 where it checks in, and then you have week 2 where it'll say, if your early ad performance is above benchmarks, it'll move the ad spend to the higher performing ad copy, targeting, and other ad assets, continued A/B split testing. And then you have the ongoing, which is ad spend has shifted to the highest performing ad asset and targeting to achieve results. So it's really walking you through all of that and telling you, like, for example, this is something that I love too. How do you know what a good click-through rate is? If you don't know ads and you've never, how do you know that? And so it tells you here, what are the benchmarks you're looking for? If it's a Google ad, then you want at least 2%. And you can see this ad, I was getting 8.51%. And that's not me because I'm so great. It's because Play just really chose the audience and all of that for me. So I had a good click-through rate and all of that. The only reason I stopped this was because I changed my setup and everything. But that's just an example of that. And then you'll also see, of course, the analytics, and then you can check out optimization. I don't want to bounce around too much because I don't know what it'll
Thank
reveal.
you.
But yeah,
Thank you.
it's super, super impressive and I would not hesitate at all to tell you guys, if you're going to run your first ad, do it. Maybe you want to start at $10, but just watch it after a couple days with the anticipation or the expectation of that process that I just told you. So the more money that you run your ads, the faster it's going to work through that learning phase. The less money, the slower it's going to take. Because if I said, well, Tony, to really get a good grasp on like who's clicking and how to revise this, 1,000 people need to click. So if you put a higher budget, they're going to get to that 1,000 first. If you do a lower budget, it's going to take a lot longer to get to that 1,000. That's kind
Gotta
of,
pay to play.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But man, that's the magic, you guys. Talk about it's like creating that brand content. So that evergreen content, like the training videos and all of that, and building up your personal brand is awesome. But it's also awesome to create those paid ads because when you have the organic traffic and you have that brand, people, when they see your ads, they're like, who's this person? That sounds kind of interesting. And they're going to look you up. You know the customer journey because we all do this. Like, well, this is interesting, but who's this guru? Let me look them up and see, if it's on YouTube and you have YouTube videos, they're just going to go right to your channel. And that's what we want. We're walking them through the customer journey so that we can get them to know, like, and trust us and see our content and then make the buying decision all on their own without ever having to talk to us. That's the best way. Rick or Ray? I'm not sure which one first.
Ray was first.
Okay. Ray, how can I help?
Yes, I'm sorry. Give me just a second here to first lower my hand. And secondly, I need, my question is not a high level question as much as it is a Cloudflare question. I'm having trouble on my desktop, but not any other browser on any other computer. I'm having trouble on my desktop using Chrome and Firefox and Edge on some sites. And so if I can share my screen here, let's see, where do you go to share your screen? There it is. And I want to share my screen and you'll see I go to this site and by the way, I'm doing I'm using BookBolt to publish some books. And so BookBolt is a site I need to get into, and I can get into it with the tutorials and make my products and all that great kind of stuff and market them. And
The
that's
only thing that you're having issues with?
no,
Oh.
I'm having trouble with BookBolt and 3 other websites that are extensive, and it's with Cloudflare. I'll show you in just a second. Cloudflare is the problem, and I don't know how to do it. And Cloudflare is really bad about support. So
So
what would you suggest?
how would Cloudflare be the cause of this to not work?
Because they're using CAPTCHA, and CAPTCHA does not respond on my desktop unit. It responds on 3 other computers that I have. But the main unit main desktop computer that I work on is not responding. And here's what it is. I can go out here and click on the live calls again, and this is a series of calls. And when I try that, it BookBolt, it surges for a long time, and these screens are black.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
sounds like a problem with that website though, not a Cloudflare problem.
well, it's also with 3 other websites, and it's all websites that have a lot to load. And let me go back to Cloudflare and show you.
If you're here's the thing, if you're having a problem with that website, it's the website. If you're having problems with multiple sites, it has something to do with your computer. Maybe you have like firewall settings or something like that, but that's not like you can just because a website is being hosted on Cloudflare, even if it is, it doesn't mean that you would have any control over that unless it's an issue with your computer.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'd like to ask Cloudflare some questions, and that's all. That's the whole point in me bringing this up. Cloudflare has absolutely no way of getting to them except their canned knowledge base, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I think you need to be a paid member to receive support for
And
Cloud.
so I just want this one answer, and I don't plan to pay them additional funds just for this one simple little answer. All they have to do is say, oh yeah, uncheck this box. But there's nobody out there to ask. That's my question.
Welcome to the world of upsells, Ray.
Yeah.
It's like you
Oh,
have a free plan and they want you to, if you need support or you need any of the other features, you have to upgrade. You know, that's the
yeah.
price you pay for free.
Oh, okay. So on my other screens, it comes to this. It gives me the login information. I just say log in. But on this one, oh, and by the way, as soon as I click log in, my other computers start, there's a little wheelie thing that goes around and around and around. And then it says, let us know you're human. And you check the box and away you go. But here on this desktop, it does not do it. It won't, this is as far as it goes, only on this desktop. And I'm trying to log into Cloudflare because on my other ones, it does say the same thing. Click if you are human, and I do, and it goes on. That prompt is not coming up here on this layout in this computer. And when you go into Cloudflare and you check their knowledge base,
Yeah,
there,
this is an issue with your computer though. It's not Cloudflare.
Yeah, it's your computer, man, for
okay, so
sure.
I reinstalled all the browsers. I didn't reinstall the lowest browser, but Edge and Chrome, I totally reinstalled it. This is a brand new today reinstallation, and nothing. It's not that. And so there's something. You're right. There's something in the computer, but there's no
Maybe try to do
support.
like a factory reset or something.
Yeah, on my computer with hundreds and hundreds of apps and places to go, that's
What you gotta do sometimes. When
okay.
it
So if
breaks,
I back up,
gotta
I know
recover.
if I back my computer completely up, the problem will be reinstalled when I reinstall the backup. So, um, okay, I've been working with this for 2 weeks and just I'm getting antsy about it. I thought maybe somebody would say, "Oh yeah, all you have to do is this," or they say, "Yeah, call Cloudflare." But Cloudflare has an 800 number for paid subscribers. That's true. So it looks like my next question is just for this one tiny little answer, I'd become a paid subscriber.
Yeah, there's never a tiny little answer though, but to save you the money, it's your computer, it's not Cloudflare.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Have
you.
On
have
to the
you
next problem.
have you have you tried clearing your memory and
Oh
cache?
yeah. Oh yeah. There's a whole handful of things that are recommended, and I've done them all. Clear the cache, um, everything. Thank you.
Mhm. Rick, how are you?
Oh, good. I've got a question for both you, Bridget, and Martina. I'm aspiring to be like Martina.
Ah, I don't blame you.
And she's killing it.
Hmm.
But my question is, with ChatGPT, I noticed Martina said she goes back to her Susan and asks additional questions, and she put in her 90-day plan and what have you. And Bridget, you said you go to, I forget what you call her name, but
Donna.
Yeah, Donna.
okay, Don. So my question is, if you do like what you did, Martina, and you've got a 90-day plan, okay, and so then it's the next day and you're going to ask questions about something along the same lines. Do you have to re-put in the prompt that you got from ChatGPT to reset, the knowledge that the GPT has? Or does it hold that in memory in your account where it can pick up right where you left off? How do you have to reprompt it? That's my question.
Do you want to
I
go first?
don't I don't reprompt, and I hope my volume's good. I'm mobile. I don't reprompt it. What I do is, number one, I began separating everything into its own folder. And so when I start a project out titled whatever the client name is and whatever the plan of action is. When I have to go back in and correct her, I always remind her, hey, on Tuesday or Thursday or Friday, February 28th, you gave me this information, but I want to alter that just a bit. And then I say what the alteration is. And then she'll say, okay, I understand that. That's a good alteration. Here is a redraft of what I originally gave you. Does that answer anything, or do I need to make additional adjustments myself?
Okay, well, that's my question then. When you said back on, the 28th, does it have in its memory everything that you did on the 28th?
Yes, it does. So because I'm inside of the folder and because I've asked and I'm keeping all the folders separate, when I go back into that folder and I'm saying, hey, here we are with client XYZ. On this day, you gave me a 90-day plan to do this for this client. However, on this day of this week, you gave me a term I don't think the client will understand. Can you explain what you meant by this? So that when I speak to the client, I can make it more clear for the client, and she'll redraft it. She'll be like, yeah, I did give you that, and I understand that that could go over the client's head. Here is a redraft of that information in cleaner terms for the client. So if
Okay,
you
so,
keep it in separate folders, that she'll be able to follow you.
okay, and the separate folders are in ChatGPT folders that you've created?
Mhm.
Yes, over on the left-hand side, I use that plus, and when I use that plus, I now see where you have projects. And I can't share my screen. I'm sure Bridget will share it, but I can't share my screen, but you can set it up as project. But what I do when I first start, I'll hit the plus sign and I'll say, Susan, name this for this client.
Okay, I didn't know, I didn't realize, I didn't know the folders and that existed. Okay.
Here's the folders right here. You can create projects and name it whatever you want. That's what she's referring to.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I do. And if you think of like if you think of that, think of like, so each folder would be like a different team member, like a VA who's responsible for that client, right? And when you have, like, let's say Billy Bob, he's like, hey, Rick, we need to change, we want to promote this new thing or whatever. And then here are the benefits, blah, blah, blah. And then you go to that and then you say, hey, this client, wants to change this. Or it's just like if you were sending an email to that assistant who's responsible for that client. And then you would still have to refer to that and say, on February, the content that we created, February 28th, we actually need to change that, da, 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 da. And then the AI responds just like the employee, except so much better.
That's
Much better.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that clarifies it. I just hadn't dug that deep into it, but yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Miss Andrea, how are you?
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
That's an excellent idea that he brought up because I need something like that ASAP. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for me. I
Aw.
went in and I tried to do the training and it's still like buffering. I didn't join the call yesterday because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do the training in the morning, but it didn't happen. So when I finally got a chance to do it after 3 o'clock, it's like I couldn't access it. It's
What
just a
training
white
are you referring
screen. That's the 3-day training that you mentioned that I should take.
to? Mhm.
It's like buffering. It's
Uh,
still buffering.
Anytime you have like a buffering issue or anything on any website at all, there are two things that you can do that will help with that. First, you want to deactivate your extensions. Extensions in your browser can cause all kinds of conflicts.
Mm.
And then the next thing that you want to do is clear your cookies and caches, and that will clear 99.9% of the time. Anytime you have a buffering issue, those two things will clear it up.
Yeah, I did the cache thing. That didn't work. Right now I'm doing I'm gonna disable my plugins and watch it's going to work. And there it is. Let's see. Okay, let me click on it. 1 second, workshop. And then yeah, still, I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Is it still buffering?
It is. Let me just clear my cache again.
So when I go to it, let me show you. I go to it, let me this. It plays fine. Let's try this one.
That's the
Yeah, these are all
scaling coach community. Was that the
Uh-huh.
same thing?
Yeah.
I don't think that was the same one.
What other
Let
one
me
are you
see.
referring to?
Let me see. I went to all together because it shows the list of learning. I went to high level workshop. Is that the one? Yeah, scaling coaching community.
Yeah, that's one I was just on.
Mhm.
Does anybody else have theirs pulled up to test and see if it's buffering for them?
Tried another browser too. Think I
Yeah,
did actually.
try to do that. Log out, clear your cookies and caches, disable all your browsers, and then log back in, and it should resolve the issue.
Is this training also connected in YouTube as well?
Yeah, that workshop is.
Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe put
Yeah.
push come to shove, I'll go there. And
Well, you definitely
okay.
you definitely want to resolve that issue though, because if you can't access that, can do all the other videos work?
You know, the funny thing is I'm working on a website, right, in WordPress. And my other videos on the video that's supposed to be presented as well, that's not working. So I'm thinking that it's I was thinking it was a WordPress problem, but now looking at this situation, it might be just an overall problem with the video.
Well, if it's buffering in my community and then you have a separate video that is also having issues, then that sounds like an issue with your computer or browser, something like that. So I would say maybe do check and see if you have like a Windows update. Make sure that you have like your Google is up to date. Those types of things. Do you know how to
Okay.
do that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll do that.
And I am looking for that. Um, Here it is. I'm looking for that playlist so that you can watch it on YouTube. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh boy. The devil is so busy.
Yeah.
But that is definitely a good idea with that 90-day plan because um I kind of cornered myself to say I'm going to do all these things, SEO and everything is included, and everything just took longer than what it is. Some things are not working, and it's just like I'm pulling my hair out.
Yeah. One of the things that I talk about all the time is like having, like this is also why I created that. So even if you can't watch the videos inside the community, make sure to check out the bonuses that are mentioned. Those are all located there.
Mhm.
But part of that is you have a totally different attitude when you wake up every day knowing exactly what you're supposed to do. And
Mhm.
when you can look at the next 90 days and you can plan all of that out, you're more
Mhm.
strategic and intentional. The last thing that you want to do is wake up and be like, oh man, what do I even do today? That
Yeah.
is not what you want. You want to be very strategic. Like this isn't a hobby. This is a business for us. And when you think of it like this is my business, I need to be strategic and I need to have a plan and set goals for myself. And then being consistent. That's the
Yes.
key. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you're not consistent with it, it's not going to work.
So in this particular playlist that outlines that too, or that's something separate that you guys use for with ChatGPT?
Oh yeah, that's a different thing that we're talking about. But
So
yeah.
you have something
It'll-
on that, or you got that was like in the past video that you don't
Yeah,
remember?
it's just general use of, do you use ChatGPT a lot?
Yeah, that and Claude and mhm.
It's just a general conversation we have about it. I have had done I have I have done, I can't talk, lots of training on ChatGPT, but I don't think that specifically. But I'll take a mental note and See, with that, it's just simply what I showed. You just go to ChatGPT and create that project.
Mhm.
But yeah, maybe I will plan some ChatGPT type of training. As soon as I just usually have to have a use case, but that's I'll make a note of that and maybe create a training.
And typically, and just to expand, because I am gonna go and implement that right now, because again, I don't know. Before I mentioned, like I just kind of have this sense of overwhelm. I'm just everything is here for me to
Mhm.
do, and I could see it and reach for it. And some days are good, but then like you mentioned before, it's not a consistent type of situation that's happening with me. Some days I'm up and I'm like, okay, let me just go do this and this, and I know what I'm going to do. And some days it's just like, okay, emails is pulling me away, or some kind of family issue is happening. So yeah, it is a good idea. So you basically do it like 90 days. And Martia says like per client.
So
And
the 90 days thing, that's a Martina thing. That is just a goal that she set for herself to do that for 90 days, which
okay.
is a great strategy because you want to definitely, like I said, have that plan and get in. If you do something for 90 days consistently, that's just going to be your life from now on. And just to prove that point, I have gone live 5 days a week for the last 5 years.
Mm,
So that whole process is what you're going to learn in that 3-day workshop. And the
nice.
goal is not only have I gone live that often, but I only work 4 hours a day. Now it's not to say that occasionally I don't like get, inspired by something or like I have an extra project that I decide to take on because I'm a crazy person. But
Mhm.
my workflow is designed to fit into a 4-hour block every single day. And that's really, really important because there are things that happen. You do have problems that arise. You have, or just personal things that interfere with all of that. But if you can be consistent with that 4-hour block every single day, you have no choice but to succeed.
I need that for my life. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, check it out.
Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh. Andrew, how are you today?
Good
I don't
afternoon,
know. Hopefully,
everyone.
okay. How can
Uh,
I help?
I can empathize with Andrea. Yeah, I know when it's a lot to do. Two quick things in regards to the project. When you do in ChatGPT, does it save it longer or it just helps to organize?
Yeah, I think it just helps to organize. I don't know if it has, if it like saves it longer than a typical thread.
Because what I've done, I've been bitten. I do stuff like go through, that would be like a 1 hour conversation with it, get plans, and then I didn't extract it and put it into a document. And then when I go back, ooh, it's like expired because it lasts just so many days. So
Are you
I
talking
thought
about like the audio, like the conversation that you're having, or is that like in the text thread?
text,
Hmm.
text,
I've
text.
not, I've not had mine expire. I have really old ones too.
Especially if you say you do, say I say do I would like a PDF of something that I formulated with, I made it formulate. So
Mhm.
I create a PDF. So it shows you the code and everything down, then it gives you that link. It keeps telling me that this link, because I did something like 2 weeks ago, and it's telling me that the link like it expired or something like that. So I'm learning now, as soon as I ask it to generate some things, I just extract it out and save it in a document otherwise, because I realize that those links it just tells you can't regenerate or something like that.
So are you on a paid plan? Manolo
Yeah.
just said that it saves it if you're a paid customer. Are you on the paid ChatGPT plan or the free one?
No, man, the paid one.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm.
But that wasn't the substance of what I called about, but just a little rabbit hole. Quickly, I can't share my screen because I'm working on another computer. But
Uh,
when you use the contact reply, so I'm doing a WhatsApp automation cold outreach.
mhm.
So this is something that I did months ago that I should have really initiated out in ChatGPT, and it gave me some stuff. So I'm actually implementing now. So this is the workflow I have in mind. I'm going to send a cold outreach to using white label suites to target some persons. So I'm going to send a WhatsApp cold outreach. So I want to set the automation to be customer replied, then add the tag. And then the third thing I want to do is a wait, but it's not a wait. It's not a normal wait, just I want a contact reply. So when it replies, it's not a time delay I want to use a contact reply. So it will wait until the person replies and then it will trigger the automation. But when I select that, it has a reply to, and it says select step. And I thought it was a drop down that I could select. It's blank. What do I put in that blank?
All right, so you have customer replied. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we have customer replied, and they're replying via WhatsApp. So replied channel WhatsApp. And then what's the next step? You add a tag?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just say whatever, this tag.
WhatsApp active or whatever.
Yeah, and what's the next step that you want to happen?
Wait, a wait step. Select wait, but no, it's not a time delay. It's a contact reply. Yeah, that one there.
Wait for the reply on certain steps.
Yeah, what goes there
Oh,
now?
yeah. So what you have to do is you have to build the step here before it will give you a selection. Okay, so like you have
If
like
else?
customer replied. No, it's kind of building that if else, right? So we have like customer replied is the trigger, and then you have to, when they're replying, you have to send them something again for them to reply. So what you'd want to do is, let's
I have
do,
another message. So I would send
yeah,
a message.
yeah. And then you can choose that wait until they reply from that message.
So this is it. I sent the first one.
Mhm.
The customer replied. I'm gonna wait so it's not too fast, but
See,
so
it
should
won't
I
let me.
regular wait or what? That's where I'm a bit confused. What should I
So
put there?
here's what happens, right? So the customer replies, and then you need to send them your template, okay, for when they reply. Because it's not just you need to tell them what you're replying to,
So
right? What
WhatsApp,
are
I
you
should
waiting
select
for?
WhatsApp. That makes so much sense. Before the tag or after the tag?
It doesn't really matter. You can inject the tag anywhere in the workflow that you want to, but the trick is, or
I
the
say
goal,
WhatsApp because that's a channel.
yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so they're replying, and then you send them your
set the
template,
template.
and then you add the wait step for when they reply to
So
this
that one.
here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Martina? You are muted.
Go. Okay, so I just want to reply to Andrea. The reason that I did that 90-day was so that I wouldn't quit. And I learned that just from when I understood that Bridget's been consistent for 5 days a week for 5 years, and the way she was able to build to where she is, and that 3-year part of that gave me the inspiration to say, I need to create a plan that I won't quit, and I need to put in place all of these different metrics that I saw in that bonus spreadsheet that came, but I need to put myself, my goals, my plans into that spreadsheet. And then I took all of that and put that information into ChatGPT. And I said, ChatGPT, please ask me questions that I know my clients are needing or asking. I know their pain points, so I know all of this stuff. And then from that query, create the 90-day plan. Why? Because January 1st through March, it's quarters, it's 4 quarters. I can actually implement something every quarter different, adding on to what Bridget has taught us. That gave me so much relief that I don't have to think about each and every month what I'm going to do different. because I have a plan that I must follow. I committed to following the plan. I knew I couldn't do 5 days a week like her, but I could do 4. And that's just for me, that's just my mindset. That's my mind shift. So once you figure out what your thing is, put it in the chat, get the response, be consistent, don't quit, and just pay attention to the metrics, because the metrics will tell you more than, that audience, that engagement will tell you. I didn't realize things were going to go up to almost 300% on IG because I'm not active on IG. My focus was YouTube. However, IG is performing like crazy. TikTok is performing like crazy. So I have to pay attention to that, but I'm not going to steer away from my goal to really explode on YouTube. So that's what following her and listening to her and then creating a plan based on what she said and putting a metric in place that I can't quit because I'm live. So people are expecting it. Yeah. And so I have to show up. That gave me a sense of relief. And because I have a plan, there's no pressure.
Wow. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for receiving.
See why she's one of our teachers' pets, or
100%, 100% a teacher's pet.
That's awesome.
I love
Someday when I grow up.
you can do it today.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm gonna be like Bridget
Right.
when I grow up.
Absolutely.
You
You're
have the
right.
blueprint, you have the motivation. Now you just have to do it.
Yes. I'm gonna do it.
Tony, how are you?
Hey, I'm gonna share my screen.
Huh?
Bridget, I got confused with this a little bit. I was trying to go over the Google review,
Mhm.
sending the emails, but when you did your video, you already had one already created. The first one that goes out, the video shows like it's a second one, and I've been trying to find how do you do the setup for the first one to go out?
We go into another account
Let me close this.
where I don't have that set up. Sometimes it's hard to do certain things because, like, with reputation management, it's like unless you have your account connected, you can't really.
Right. And then like another thing, I was like doing some research and I came a couple different workflows. Some of them actually utilize when you're building out the workflow, like using one of the custom paid, I forgot what they were called. But in the workflow, as it's going through the process, some of them are specialized. They have the gold stamp when you're setting up your tags. You know what I'm talking about?
When it's
When you're setting up your workflow that you're deciding, on the left-hand side, how there's some that are specialized that you have to pay for. Okay. I've come across some workflows that utilize that for the first email to go out. And then I came across some that don't. Like, what's the difference?
which of those are you
Like,
talking?
why would you use it? If there's a way to do it without paying extra for it, why would you use the paid way?
Like, for example, which one?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're sending out that first referral,
Mhm.
right? I've come across two different, not from you. I'm not saying not from you, but from
I mean, what I'm trying to get at is if you're referring to like incoming webhook trigger, okay, that's a premium action in the workflows. There is not another option to pull in data from another platform into high level directly without that option. So typically when there's the premium action, it's because that is the only way to do that. And usually it's because it incurs some type of cost to high level. And so they have to pass that on to us. So
is that
in that example of like incoming webhook, that's the trigger. You can, though, like the workaround, if you didn't want to use that, what you'd have to do is let's say Stripe or something, okay? If you wanted to send data from Stripe to high level, let's say they're not integrated, I'm only choosing that as a software, okay? So if you wanted to send that data to high level and you wanted to use a webhook, you would have to use Zapier to say, okay, when this happens in Stripe, then trigger this webhook, and then, or you would have to do when it happens in Stripe, send this data to lead connector, and then set it up that way. But if you want to send it directly without using Zapier, then you could use that incoming webhook trigger and then just say, in Stripe, when you do this, send that data to this webhook, and then that immediately goes into high level.
Okay. Like that part I understand. I guess the reason that I went down those rabbit holes because I started doing research on the core. Oh my goodness. You know, the query we were talking about?
The query string?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going down that rabbit hole, and when I was noticing that most of them are attached to forms, right? When you're using them, they're mostly
Yes.
being attached to a form. So a lot of the forms that are being used that for is the Google reviews. And I can't come across the best way to utilize it I've seen is applying it for Google reviews, where you send that review to somebody and it automatically fills their information. So the person that's sending it to a friend doesn't have to send, like if I send it to you, you wouldn't have to fill out all of the information. Then you could send it to a friend with your information already in there.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. The way that we were Label Suite used it. So you do the search in White Label Suite, and then you push that data to high level. Okay. Now you have them as a contact in your account with the relevant information. Let's say their business name and all of that. Now, when you push that data and you have those custom fields filled in with that data that you just pushed, that now it's in their profile. So if you were to send all of those contacts to a workflow, and in that workflow, you had an email that said, hey, check out this website I built for you. Let me know if you want me to continue. And then they click that link. That link should contain the query string or the preview link of that website template with the query string built out so that it shows like the business name, the phone number of the business, the address, whatever data you wanted to pull in to map it out there. So basically that query string, when they click in that email, that's what links it to them and all of their relevant information. So when they click it, it shows up automatically like that. So that's how they were using it for that purpose.
Before I could build it out, I'm trying to find out, I guess, the video on how to build out the first email, the first ask for the review. I haven't been able to.
Yeah. So go into your account, because when I went into my demo account, I was still seeing it. Do you want to go into your account and let me see what it looks like?
Absolutely. Let me share my screen.
It's in reputation, settings, and email review requests.
Oh, okay, hold on. I got it over here.
You built it right there, Tony.
What?
Right there.
Yeah, you're right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's your first email right there.
Right, but I created this. It wasn't like in there. I didn't like I figured out how to get here to this point to where I have to like customize this and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then this is the second one that goes out, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What I'm saying is like the workflow for this one, I haven't attached it to anything.
Yeah, you don't have to. This is the action that makes this work is when you send a review request. So that can be in the workflow. It can be when you just manually click to like check them in.
Okay. All right. I think I got it.
Yeah.
I think I got it. Thank you, Bridget.
Yep. You're welcome.
I think I was overthinking it.
That's okay. We do that sometimes.
If there's no one, was there a hand up?
Nope. Actually, go ahead, Andrew, because I'm gonna enter the names
Popping up
as
now?
well.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
go into that then, because what I wanted to share, but never mind. Go ahead. I
I have
think
to
about
enter
it a
the
little more.
I have to enter the names, Andrew, so go ahead.
Okay. So what it is that? So I have some WhatsApp outreach message. So I have some messages that I want to send out. But looking through them, I'm wondering, it seems, I want to highlight the automations, but some of the messages I probably have to tweak. So as I say, I'm thinking about it. Say I sent out the first one saying, I came across your business. So this is a cold thing, and wanted to ask, how do you currently handle WhatsApp follow-ups and customer bookings? Many businesses lose sales. And then I'm going to ask, that's where our system helps. Would you be open to a quick 5-minute chat? So I set the automation for a response to that. If they respond, then I definitely need to have another. Yeah. Now that I'm speaking it out, I can't use the next one I have in line because the next one is saying it's presupposing that I had a discussion with the person. So yes, now I'm seeing it because I was putting it in and it's not following for me. So I think that's what I need to change that. Now that I've spoken out aloud and it's, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just how it is. We just have to like say it out loud and we really solve our own problems. Sometimes I go and I leave here in my office and I go complain to my husband, and in the process of me complaining about something I couldn't figure out, I'm like, oh, yeah, I just solved my problem, so we're good. All right, so I am just about done here. And I'm going to call your guys' names. I'm a little dyslexic, I think. I always put Keith's name, I spell it wrong. All right, let's see. Ray and Rick. All right, so I'm going to call your name. If I do not call your name, let me know. Just for everyone who's watching, every Friday when you join me in the group coaching session, you do have the opportunity to win a private session with me. And so I want to make sure that I have everyone's name on the wheel. So if I do not call your name and you are in the meeting right now, let me know. So we have Andrew, Sam, Martina, Tony, Brett, Charles, Digital Dream, Frankie, Keith, Manolo, Ray, and Rick. Did I miss anyone? Going once?
You're not displaying.
No, I'm not. Do you want me to? It's hard for me to see all the names in the chat and then and share my screen. Can you see it now? Or am I sharing the wrong one? I think I'm sharing the wrong one. Here we go. Screen one. All right. Can you see it now?
You're upside down.
Yeah. All right, here we go. It's Tony.
Yay.
Tony, didn't you win last week?
Deuces, baby.
Dial them up.
God
Hey,
rewards the action takers, man. See
yes,
how
he
it
does,
goes?
man.
Bridget, quick question that I should have asked. Do you need A2P to use the voice AI?
Yes, because you need that phone number that you link to the voice AI is going to be the phone number that you like in your high level account.
I thought so. I heard someone prominent person said no.
Well, so that's only for the United States, though. I don't think that outside the United States you have to worry about A2P.
Well, I'm outside of the United States. I have to be worrying about A2P.
Yeah. I know.
We're like the 50 whatever state here in Jamaica. So yeah, 52nd, yeah, maybe.
All right, guys. Do you have anything that I can help you with before we go for the weekend?
I'm feeling really blessed right now. Two weeks in a row. I'm feeling it really good, man.
Ready to take off, Tony? I can tell.
I know.
All right. I'm so blessed to be a part of the journey, and not just for Tony, but all of you guys. It is so inspiring for me to see you guys showing up every day and seeing the progress that you're making. And I know that you're like behind the scenes working, and I'm just so, so proud when I see you celebrating wins and all of that. Super, super cool. So keep doing that so that you keep inspiring me and keep motivating me to do what I do. So I really appreciate that. I hope you guys have the best weekend you've ever had in your whole lives, and I will see you